hanging out with people that are over five, or I'm getting to be on these podcasts with people that are over 100 million in HVAC, and I see 700 people staffs, and a guy that's like memorized names up to 300 people staff. Like I'm seeing like they're obsessed with leadership development. Like I think over in roofing, God, I'm sure somebody's gonna hate me from this podcast. I feel like every single time I do a podcast, there's people that hate me, but I just like to like be as honest as possible. Um, there's like an obsession with sales development in roofing, and that's good because literally you can't make a company without obsession with business development, right? But there's like if you got that plus an obsession with leadership and being a better person, I feel like this is really where the crazy upside is, because this gets you to 30 people or whatever, 50 or 100 or whatever. This gets you to a certain level. And then this gets you to like making leaders of leaders that then can create the 100 and 500 people companies. Like, I'm not saying we all have to be giants, but I'm saying like obsession with leadership development also makes our lives better. And I think like I'm seeing a lot of like obsession with leadership development over there. And I think that like roofing could use a little bit more of that. And like, I do think the ego thing is the same. It's like this, there's just so many big egos in any industry you go to. I do think, and they make more money than me. So like, who am I to say that these crazy badass influencers in either HVAC or roofing or whatever that, and let's talk about roofing, like who am I to say that you shouldn't have a massive ego and that there's not some function to that? You know, like when big influencers or whatever have a big ego and then all that type of stuff. Who am I to say that that doesn't have a function? That's probably has a function because everyone wants your time, right? Like if you have a lot of influence or like these crazy giant company owners, like everyone wants your time. Everyone wants to pick your brain and they haven't even listened to your free content or the podcasts you've been on. That's not right. It's not you should go and listen to their stuff first. You should go and study their stuff first that they have for free before you ask to pick their brain. That's the correct thing to do. But yeah, I think at the end of the day, hopefully there's better people out there than us, even if you are making $1 million plus a year or 10 million plus a year net profit. Like there's probably somebody out there that you can learn something from. So hopefully as you know, Proline gets that plus 1 million net profit and Peach State Roofing gets that 1 million net profit, it's still, we can still be students because I think it's more fun way to live anyways.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
totally
You had to,
agree.
yeah.
Well, I was just gonna say about going back to masterminds, the groups, like we have a couple different groups with Dave Sullivan, and those are like wildly. Most people in there do more revenue than Peach State Roofing does. They have different issues, different challenges than I do, and it's we try to limit it to actually 10 different guys, and there's 10 different companies basically. Sorry, Emily May, you're in there too. Emily's in there. She's awesome.
Yeah.
And we all learn from each other every single time. And then they're breaking off and texting each other and learning from like their different, like wherever they are in their business and their goals. And even in like geographic locations, they'll have similar challenges and similar solutions. Like if they're doing tile only, or they're doing roof cleaning in the Northwest, like whatever it is, it's wildly valuable. It's very rewarding to me to hear those stories from those guys who are messaging me. They're like, yeah, we text 2 or 3 times a week just to try to figure out like that's what it should be for every industry. Like that's one thing I'd say. If you're listening to this, like get into a mastermind. It doesn't have to be the roofer coach mastermind.